If you're anything like me, your daily life is stressful. You're probably dealing with 100 different things on your to-do list on any given day. And when bedtime rolls around and it's time to get some sleep, you're having trouble falling asleep because the bed's too warm, it's too cold, there's too much light, there's too much sound, there's whatever the reason, insert it here. I can relate. There have been a lot of really cool advances in sleep technology in recent years. So I'm going to take you on a little tour to check out some of the things that I think are worth looking at, depending on what your particular issue is when you're going to sleep or not going to sleep, as the case may be. I'll tell you what they are, how they work, and of course, why I think they might actually be helpful. One of my biggest issues personally is temperature control when I sleep. So I deal with a lot of hot flashes, night sweats. I'm firmly in midlife, so that's just kind of where I'm at right now. And I needed something that would control the temperature of the actual surface that I was sleeping on. The 8 Sleep, at least for me, has been a game changer. It is a mattress cover and hub set that sort of looks like a desktop computer. It controls the climate across the entire surface of the bed. And if you share a bed with somebody, it does offer dual zone control, so each person can have their own side of the bed set however they want. But whether you're a hot sleeper, a cold sleeper, or it varies night by night, the 8 Sleep allows you to control the temperature however you need. Plus, it makes automatic self-adjustments throughout the night. So the 8 Sleep runs on this thing called Autopilot, which is an app that connects with the hub that operates and runs the 8 Sleep. So through the night while you're sleeping on top of the 8 Sleep cover, it's taking biometric data as far as your heart rate, your body temperature, your sleep state, like what stage of sleep you're actually in, as well as the ambient room temperature. And it factors all of these things in so it can self-adjust all throughout the night. So you might go to bed with the surface being one temperature, and during the night, Autopilot sort of takes control to make sure that it's maintaining a temperature that is as conducive to your sleep as possible. What that means is you're waking up less and you're waking up more refreshed when you finally do get out of bed in the morning. It's not exactly an inexpensive piece of sleep tech. Depending on the model and the size, it'll run anywhere from $2,400 to $5,200, depending on the make, model, size of your bed, any extra bells and whistles that you get. So it definitely is not cheap. I do think it's worthwhile because I have one on my bed currently, and ever since I got it, I can't imagine sleeping without it. I've actually been able to go to sleep comfortably, even in the middle of summer, even if the room is warm. It's changed everything about the way I sleep. This next one is a product that I've been curious about ever since my 8 Sleep told me that I snore. But if snoring is an issue for you, the Nitronic Z6 pillow is an actual anti-snoring device. It is a pillow that literally detects when you're snoring and adjusts your head position to make you stop while you're sleeping. It's pretty cool. Runs right around $700 if it's not on sale. Basically, it has these MEMS, MEMS. They're micro electromechanical systems. And yes, I was reading that off of my screen so I would get it right. It has sensors in the pillow. So when it detects the sleeper is snoring, there are actually airbags inside the memory foam pillow that inflate or deflate however they need to roll the sleeper's head to one side or the other. This helps to clear the airway and intervenes to stop their snoring. If the Z6 is a little too out of range in terms of your pocketbook, they currently have the Z1 available, which is an early generation model, and it's under $200. Especially if you're not sure that something like this would work for you, it's a good starting point to try it out. If you're somebody that needs to control the sound in your bedroom, or you prefer to fall asleep listening to something streaming, whether it's music or a podcast, the Oslo Sleep Buds come in at about $350. These earbuds actually tuck fully inside of your ears. So especially if you're a side sleeper, or if you're a stomach sleeper like me who always has her head on the side like this, nothing is going to be sticking out, so they won't fall out, they won't move, and you can stream anything that you like. But what's really cool about these, especially if you're listening to podcasts or audiobooks, there are biometric sensors inside the Oslo Buds that will detect when you're fully asleep. So if you have something playing, it'll pause the playback and you won't lose your place, which is why it's awesome, especially if you're listening to an audiobook. Once the earbuds are no longer streaming, they transition to basically like white noise that sort of masks any external noises that are happening in the room that might disrupt your sleep. So especially if you sleep with a partner who's snoring and they have no interest in the Nitronic Z6, you can wear these earbuds all night long and sort of drown that out. One of the most awesome things about the Oslo Sleep Buds is the fact that there's an in-ear alarm. So I'm somebody who sleeps with earplugs, just like your typical like foam ones, because I sleep next to a snorer. Despite being a snorer myself, I am not nearly as loud. But because I sleep with those earplugs in, I have to have my alarm set pretty loudly. The Oslo Buds have an in-ear alarm that will wake you up without disturbing your partner. And that's just a brilliant design. When you need to take control of sound and light, you'll want to take a look at the BS Sleep Mask. Now, depending on the model, this runs anywhere from around $779 to close to $2,500. So it is a little bit of an investment, but when you see what it can do, you'll understand why. So this looks a little like a VR headset. It's a very futuristic kind of vibe, but it's designed to be completely comfortable when your head is on the pillow, even if you're laying on your side or, whatever position you happen to be in. These offer complete darkness. They're 100% light blocking, so if you're somebody that needs absolute pitch dark to go to sleep, the BS Sleep Mask is going to give that to you. But the other thing that it does, and this is where it really gets futuristic, it has neurofeedback technology that measures, controls, and improves your sleep by actually guiding your brain through the sleep stages all during the night. Yes, you heard me correctly. It's almost like having a one-on-one sleep coach for your literal brain. On top of that, it also provides soothing neural soundscapes that sort of like relax your mind and calm your thoughts. So especially if you're somebody who, you lay down in bed and you can't get your mind to shut off, the BS Sleep Mask will help with that. Plus, you get useful data the next day that'll tell you everything you need to know about the night of sleep that you had before. And even though it's designed to be used overnight, you can use it during meditation, short naps, and even if you're adjusting time zones, like if you're traveling and you need to sort of self-adjust a little more quickly, it'll help with that too. When you're looking for calm, the Apollo Neuro is a wearable device that you just wear on your wrist, sort of like an Apple Watch or any other watch, and it delivers vibrations that soothe your body and mind so that you can fall asleep faster and stay asleep. It's basically like a hug for your nervous system. The vibrations that come from the Apollo Neuro are really, really subtle, but they basically signal safety to your brain. They activate your parasympathetic response, which is sort of your rest and digest response. The idea behind the Apollo Neuro is to calm stress, boost your focus, and encourage better sleep. And it's sort of like practicing meditation without the effort or the concentration. And at about $350, it's a pretty affordable piece of sleep tech. What's really great is you can wear it on your wrist, but you can also wear it on your ankle if you're not a fan of having something on your wrist. If you don't want to wear it at all, you can clip it onto your night clothes if you prefer, and it'll just quietly hum away with that vibration that sort of mimics natural rhythms like deep breathing or calming heartbeat patterns. And you can control the vibe that you want through the free app that comes with it. So you can choose sleep mode, focus mode, energy, or unwind based on whatever it is that you want to do. If you're somebody who's most interested in tracking your sleep, or your overall health and fitness for that matter, the Oura Ring starts at $350, and it's an all-day, all-night solution that will monitor every aspect of what your body's doing during the day and all during the night while you're asleep. Oura Rings have been around for a hot minute at this point, but the latest iteration actually has 18 sensor pathways, and that's an increase from the 8 that were in the previous version. But that results in far more reliable data compared to earlier iterations. And with the app, you can take a closer look into all of the metrics, you can look at daily stats, and you can track your long-term goals. The one thing that really caught my eye about the Oura Ring is the fact that the battery lasts about 8 days between charges. Now, I have an Apple Watch. I think the longest I've ever gone is maybe 36 hours. So the idea that you can wear a ring and it's going to stay charged for more than a week definitely piqued my interest. That said, the Oura Ring doesn't have GPS and a lot of the other bells and whistles that the Apple Watch does, but still, 8 days is a long time to go between charging. So if you're looking to improve your bedtime routine and you're also looking for a natural wake-up alarm, the Hatch Restore is a really cool piece of sleep tech, and it's available for under $200. This is actually a sunrise alarm clock, so it's going to wake you up with light rather than sound. So it just gives you a much more gentle way to wake up in the morning, but it also doubles as a sound machine and a nightstand light. So it covers a lot of the bases all in one little unit. The Hatch Restore 3 offers customizable light cues that include soft sunrise or sunset simulations. So especially if you've got blackout curtains, you can sort of control the entire light atmosphere inside your room to simulate something natural when you need it. Especially if you're somebody who works nights and sleeps during the day, you can actually use this alarm clock as a way to simulate sunset even if it's 9 in the morning, or sunrise even if it's 9 o'clock at night. But it also helps you to create bedtime routines. It also offers sleep-inducing sounds like white noise, nature, and meditations to sort of guide your rest. And alongside the app, you can create bedtime routines for yourself and start them with the device, which means you can keep your phone out of reach. If you sleep better with a humidifier, the Dyson Humidify and Cool is an air purification system that also humidifies the air. Now it runs about $1,000, so it's sort of the mid-range compared to like all of the items on this list, but it is a really sleek looking humidifier that it doesn't take very much space in your bedroom. All in, it's about 1 foot in diameter and it's about 36 inches high. So you can tuck it somewhere so it's out of the way, but it still looks pretty nice. It kind of looks like a piece of modern art, if I'm being honest, but then so do a lot of Dyson's products, so I can't really say I'm all that surprised. This is an all-in-one device that purifies, humidifies, and cools the air. It uses HEPA H13 filtration, and that traps more than 99% of ultrafine particles. That makes this one especially good for those who deal with allergies, whether seasonal or otherwise, and it also removes odors and other things from the air. As the Dyson purifies and hydrates the air, it has a bladeless fan that circulates cool airflow throughout the room. It has a 1-gallon water tank that'll run up to about 36 hours per fill, so that's more than enough to get through one night, and possibly multiple nights if you're not running that constantly. So the last sleep tech item on my list technically isn't technology in the traditional sense. It's not electric, doesn't have any sort of current or computer internet connectivity or anything like that. The cooling weighted blanket from Gravity I consider to be a brilliant piece of sleep tech, because a lot of us sleep better at night with heavy blankets or weighted blankets, but that also makes you hot. And especially when you're a hot sleeper, those two things don't mix. So if you're somebody who likes having a weighted blanket but also gets a little too roasty toasty underneath one, the cooling weighted blanket has a 100% Lyocell fabric cover that's made from eucalyptus. So it's natural fiber and it stays cool. The inside is actually filled with glass beads that are evenly distributed throughout. So it provides that deep touch pressure stimulation that sort of simulates the sensation of being hugged all over, but you're not going to get hot and sweaty. And you might think that weighted blankets are only for those with autism or ADHD, but studies have actually shown that the general population can benefit from them just as much. One thing that I really love about this particular weighted blanket, and if you have a weighted blanket yourself, then you probably are going to know where I'm coming from. A lot of them are spot clean only, which is problematic if you have pets, if you eat snacks in bed, or whatever. Things get dirty and not being able to wash them really sucks. The cooling weighted blanket from Gravity actually has an outer cover that's removable, so you can take that off and wash it and put it back on your blanket. So, for an investment that's under $200, you still want to be able to wash the thing. This is a really great choice if you like having a weighted blanket or want one, need one that's going to let you stay cooler at night, and can actually be washed. At the end of the day, the most effective sleep tech is going to be the one that fits seamlessly into your routine and does what you need it to do. So whether you need a mattress topper that will control your sleep climate, a device that's going to block all of the sound or the light and the sound, one that tracks your sleep cycles, or a wearable that helps you to calm down and wind down at night, there is a piece of sleep tech out there that's likely going to make that better. No gadget can entirely replace good sleep habits, of course, but these tools can actually be game changers. And hopefully my recommendations are going to help you plug into some smarter rest too.